15. It's supposed to be 30.
No. Maybe 2-player tasks.
Yeah.
Oh hey, we are live.
All right.
Time to do some Final Fight Arcade.
Awesome.
This is gonna be doing Cody and max difficulty because that's what Fightcade uses. I have some 1cc's on the default difficulties, never on max though. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this should be something for sure. So yeah, it's Final Fight.
So the biggest differences between difficulties are enemies are generally more aggressive, and the difficulty just ramps up a lot faster. Stage 2 is actually like one of the hardest stages to get through without dying. As a result.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
So I got some like bad luck at the start, so I had to fight more than usual. But I mean,
yeah, and
whatever.
I'm sure a lot of people are familiar, maybe more with the Super Nintendo version than the arcade version. You're seeing one of the major differences right out of the gate is that you can have more than 3 enemies on screen at a time.
We're gonna have a lot of enemies.
A lot of enemies and a lot less slowdown, so you can't necessarily have that work to your advantage on some levels. So yeah, khananaphone is going to be really putting in some hard effort here to get through this one.
In general, like there's some slowdown, but once there's too many sprites on the screen, it'll just it'll start like just making the sprites invisible. Like the enemies will still be there, but you can't see them.
So khananaphone's fighting our first boss here, Damned, aka Thrasher, sometimes in American version, and you see just stun locking him and just putting him down like nothing. What a great job! Got to deal with a couple enemies there in a little bit at the beginning. Got in his way of his stun lock, but brought it back.
I stood too close to the subway, so I did a backflip. That's unfortunate. Time loss. But yeah, that was a sort of a more risky than necessary strategy. So this, usually if you want to do this fast, you're just gonna try to despawn these guys. I tried to take it safe, but unfortunately it did not work out since I took a ton of damage.
Of course, Roxy and Poison.
There really are no safe strats.
The safest strat is to beat up everyone before they can beat you up. That's pretty, like, that seems obvious, but sometimes it doesn't quite go that way.
Some of my safe strats involve, like, trying to avoid fights, and, like, the dangerous strat is safer than than actually fighting.
Exactly.
So, like, this game is, like, really neat. Pretty much every enemy can hit you and mess you up. Even the, like, unassuming ones.
The unassuming ones they're sort of the worst at sometimes because, you know, you're busy tingling with an Andore or whatnot, and, you know, they require a lot of attention, and then, you know, you get a 2P just, like, kind of coming in out of nowhere like he's Randy Orton and just getting all up in your business, making things a little hairy. So, yeah, you can't really sleep on any of the enemies in the game, unfortunately.
I'm taking this a bit safe by... not safe, but slow by, I mean, just killing these enemies. You don't really have to kill a lot of enemies unless it's, like, you're at a point where the screen stops moving. Like, all these spawns I have to kill before I proceed.
Right.
But, like, you saw there, the biggest part there was despawning the first Andore Jr. If that goes wrong, then you'll have, like, 15 enemies on the screen. Which is, that's what I was talking about as, like, probably the hardest part. And so, oh, this Axel just nailed me. They do, like, a ton of damage.
Oh, yeah, Axles and slashes are, like, sneaky, nasty enemies.
Alright, I accidentally picked up a sword, so...
Ooh. Yeah, there's no way to drop the weapons that you pick up. You just have to get them knocked out of your hand. And, yeah,
but the knife drop was nice, though.
Yeah.
So there's really only one safe way to fight this particular group of enemies. Like, these knife guys, punching them while they're waking up is not actually a safe strategy in this game. They're way harder here than in the SNES version. Literally the only safe way to fight them is knifing them when they're off the screen.
Of course, Cody can keep the knife and use it as a hand-to-hand weapon. Unlike Hagar, he just throws it when he picks it up.
Yeah.
So that's a great advantage for Cody.
Hagar has a lot of defensive tools, but he also has some problems where like enemies can like escape his throws. Basically, when you grab enemies, they'll randomly try escaping them until you do something. So you want to like buffer your throw input to throw as soon as possible. But with Hagar, even if you do that, they can escape frame perfectly, which is an issue.
Here's our second boss fight, Sodom, aka
Katana.
That's it. That's the one. It's been a while. And as you see, khananaphone is getting near him, grabbing him, and giving him 3 knees and then throwing him.
Mm-hmm.
Or in that case, giving him 3 knees and just knocking him down. Does a ton of damage and making Sodom look super easy.
He's a huge nightmare in SNES.
Oh yeah, he touches you up and you immediately lose your life.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. All right.
And he has like way more invincibility when he wakes up. He can still kill you here, but he is nice. But in the SNES version, it's ridiculous. That's actually a common thing with bosses. I can't do the SNES punch 2 spots at the same time, unfortunately.
Right. So that was the car minigame. But it says something a little different in this version, which I don't think is as funny as Oh My Car.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I agree.
There he is. Oh my god.
He's so sad. I feel like a jerk.
The car got destroyed.
So here, if I miss one knife, then I'll throw it, or I'll lose it, which will, it's on the ground. Makes it a little dicier here. But this is turning out fine.
I hesitate to just keep comparing this to the SNES version, but good lord, is it so much different getting in the start of stage 3.
Yeah.
Seeing like 6 enemies, 7 enemies on screen at once, like right out of the gate. That's crazy.
SNES compensates by, they still have the enemies, they're just spaced out, which can be...
Yeah.
Which means it's a lot slower.
Longer.
It's so longer.
Exactly. And there's so much slowdown in that version. It's much longer to get through that section. And you had the nice swag backflip knee that does not actually hit the door, but you break through the door anyway. So that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Mandatory.
I wanted to move slightly faster.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually save time to do backflips that move you to the right of the screen.
So if you stand on the top row, those fire guys don't shoot anything. Also, yeah, in the SNES, a lot of the fire is removed for very good reason.
Yeah, you really just have the fire guys on stage 4, I guess.
And they should not be there.
Right.
It really, the amount of lag is ridiculous. Yeah,
Zandore Jr. saying, nope, not today, son.
Also, yeah, cutscenes, not just warped.
Right, yeah, they actually explain why
bad.
you're going from area to area instead of just, like, oh, now you're here.
It's
Okay,
bad.
so yeah, there's Grand Andore and the other one, Frank Andore. I don't know what the other one is.
The pipe got in the way. I can't believe I died on here. So sad. Oh well.
That's another great thing about the arcade version too is, like in Streets of Rage 2, as you just saw, guys, when he respawns after taking a death, he knocks back all the enemies. They take a little bit of damage, which is super, super convenient. I mean, this game is pretty brutal, so they give you just a little bit of breathing room when you come back. Not existent in the SNES version, and it can really suck as a result.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go, you got your revenge. Now making our way over to
This
police officer.
This guy.
Eddie.
Yeah. This guy's my friend. He always ruins my runs.
Who, the El Gato?
Yeah, because you can't go too far to the right or else it spawns everyone.
Right.
So I have to be a bit careful about it. Yeah, general theme with the bosses in arcade version is they don't have all that. They have some invincibility, but in the SNES one they always have like multiple seconds, and it's ridiculous.
So khananaphone's going to try to set up another stun lock here. So far, so good. And yeah, just by doing 2 punches, then turning around and going back to 2 punches, he can just keep that going until the end of the fight. Picks up the gum for good measure.
You do not want to
I don't
mess
know
with
why chewed
it.
gum it gives you so much health. It's really weird.
It gives you so much
Like,
health. It's great.
And apple does very little health upgrade in the game, but chewed gum turns out. So this is a stage that doesn't exist in the SNES version. This is the I guess the warehouse, and we're gonna fight a guy you might be familiar with from the Street Fighter series when all's said and done. But yeah, you gotta watch out for these flames here, and still while fighting with all these several enemies on screen at once.
So you may notice I'm taking no damage.
That's right.
So when you start the level, it puts you on the exact vertical pixel. Well, there's a few pixels, but it puts you on one that makes you avoid all this damage. If I moved up or down a bit, like doing this stage, this place, or this screen as intended, really sucks. So I don't do it.
That seems completely reasonable.
So we're coming up to a really rough part where if the skipping does not go well, we're in for a world of hurt. The way despawns work is, if the game feels like despawning an enemy, then it does, and I don't really know how it works. You can do like the beefiest despawn and they'll still or the beefiest attempt doing it and they'll still be there.
Right. That stinks.
So the Andor is gone, but the fact that Slash is still here is not good.
Oh yeah. Slash is one of those enemies that just kind of hangs back and he'll block a lot of your shots, which most enemies don't do in the game. But if he touches you up, it does like half your health right away. It's a real pain.
I do a ton of Super Joys.
Yeah.
The AB attacks, so my health's pretty low. I also can't believe like the release date of this game is this 1989 before Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, crazy.
Because it still like plays and looks great. No slowdown, infinite characters on the screen. I thought I could get around that. Oh well, the odds of me not dying there were not great anyway.
Well, we just saw him for a second. He's going to be coming back with a vengeance, but that was our boy.
Oh great, I picked up the sword again.
That ladder, throwing us some grenades.
This is gonna get really bad. Yeah, once this elevator goes bad, it doesn't get any better.
Yeah, it looks like it.
If you do it fast enough, you can.
All those enemies on you. And so there is Rolento. Once again, the stun lock is live.
That one's really scary. If you break that stun lock, he just starts warping around super fast everywhere.
And he's nice enough to throw a bunch of grenades on himself and just end it for you. Like, he leaves no doubt. That's pretty great.
Yeah. So to be clear, I'm not like my goal here was like attempt to 1cc and also just no credit feeding strats.
Right.
In general, like if it's not a 1cc, I don't really count it as a time. But I mean, for a marathon, I mean, not that surprising.
Yeah, I mean, sure. You know, you want to show off start to finish, really.
Mm-hmm.
As fast as possible. And really, I mean, you know, a couple minor things, but so far so good.
Mm-hmm.
There was the second bonus game. Kind of talked over that. That's just the glass breaking stage.
Yeah,
You don't have to
you
break all
break-
the pieces
no.
of glass. You break the specific ones that you can break, and you're done. And no one says, "Oh my glass," which is kind of a disappointment. This was always the stage in the SNES version that I felt really took it to a new level of difficulty. Like, this is where it really ramped up, especially once you get to Abigail. But
It's
even
also-
before then.
Yeah,
I mean,
Abigail in the SNES version is really stupid.
Yeah. But, you know, we're going to see a bunch of different similar type enemies kind of grouping together here, and khananaphone will make his way through their different sections. We have the big boys right now, Wong Hu, Bill Bull, G. Orber, and you're just going to have to fight a whole big wave of those. And then, you know, we'll see what else the stage throws at them.
Yeah, so the big boys, they're generally not too super threatening, but they have some attacks they can randomly put out that are they're like too fast to do anything about. Plus, if you get knocked down, they can like charge. Ooh. It's sort of an important despawn to get, so let's hope this works. Yeah, if they charge as you're getting up, like, then you're just taking free more damage, and they can just do it over and over. But in general, they're not super threatening.
Now here's the poverty enemy section.
Mm-hmm. They're annoying though, because they have so much health, and
yeah.
when you knock them down, it takes them an infinite time to get up.
Yeah, Jake in particular is pretty tanky.
So here's a really horrible part. See how much of these... I don't think... Alright, there's still 2. That was perfectly fine.
Wow.
That was great, actually.
Oh, yeah, you
It's a really common death area.
That was good.
Really common to die there.
So yeah, the khananaphone just went right past those enemies and into the next section, into the bathroom stalls, where it has a little bit different graffiti, again, from the SNES version, as you'd expect. His SNES was pretty cloistered back in those days. But yeah, more of a lot of 2Ps and Js in here. Got a Roxy hanging out, it looks like. Oh, excuse me, it's Poison. I always mix those up. Here come the slashes.
He is for purple poison?
Yeah. It's a mnemonic device, I like it. I should have thought of that.
I have trouble with the J's and the 2Ps.
I just hate both of them equally. They suck. Those are my least favorite enemies in the game.
They're...
You go after them and they run away, and then as soon as you're like, okay, fine, I'm gonna attack this other enemy, you're like, gotcha!
Yeah, they just jab you and it's like...
Yeah, it's so obnoxious. It just breaks whatever you're doing. It's really annoying.
This is another pretty good skip there. That one's not...
Yeah, you just like went up over the telephone box and ignored the fire throwers.
That one's not super dangerous just because there's a health right
cool
before it, and this barrel right here has health. Here's the knife fight, which is this is a really, really rough screen if you don't know how to fight these guys. And I mean, even after.
Yeah, I mean, they just move so fast because they can slide, they can get in and low on you, and you can't really do a whole lot besides jump over them. But usually, you're in the middle of battling another guy, so you're not able to jump out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd that guy break the barrel? What? I don't think I've ever seen that.
He really wanted you to know there was a chicken in there. Hey, buddy. These tires, they got chicken.
One fun thing this game does is you can have frame perfect, or I don't know how it works exactly, but the guaranteed like full health drops can become just diamonds.
Yeah,
very arbitrarily.
Sometimes in the SNES version too. It's pretty rare. I don't know how common it is in this version, but
it's really horrible when it happens.
Yeah, it sucks. Like, oh, thank God I can get my
No, oh God,
yeah,
I went too far. I did one too far. Okay, so.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Okay, they're grouped. It's
Andre the Giant has a posse.
Okay, he is not cooperating, but whee. All right, this is. I can't guarantee you that this.
Yeah, this is nuts.
This is bad.
So there's like 37 guys and Abigail, and Abigail's like.
And he keeps like walking in a very unfavorable way here. All right. Punch him for a bit,
has
but
a rage property where he will just basically charge across the screen and murder your face off of your face. But once again, that stun lock coming into play here. Khananaphone executing it perfectly.
Roxy, thank you.
Boys are coming into town here.
Oh, Roxy really failed me out there.
Roxy's doing some things.
Oh my God.
What was that? It? Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay, cleared it out. Roxy was jumping all around, but she was cool.
Yeah. So yeah, in this SNES version, Abigail's the worst because his invincibility is so high that you actually can't punch him at all after he gets up before he just throws you. I actually don't know how you're supposed to fight him.
I just stick and move really, and like hope for the best. Use a lot of extra joy for super joy, and yeah, just hope you have enough lives to get through the fight. here we are. This is the final stage. It's quite a bit
Oh,
longer
boy.
than the stages.
That was all on me. I had it set. Now this guy's on the right. I can't really keep that stun lock going. Oh,
Kept it going
Doug.
pretty well, though. That was all right. So yeah, as I guess we should have mentioned this a little earlier. Ah, dang. But yeah, you know, obviously, you want to keep all the enemies on one side of you so they don't surround you, start grabbing on you, and breaking your fighting chains. Yeah, that went a little sideways there for a second, but back in it, ready to close it out.
So the game gets a lot harder now.
Yeah, for sure.
See if we can get that 2cc. Probably not.
I believe.
Can't believe it died in the cage fight. Back in stage 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, again, it's like, as long as you can keep the enemies from actually grabbing you, things tend to go a lot better. Like,
I'm
you know, especially
dropping my infinites way too much.
The Andores, I mean, when the Andores grab hands on you, I mean, that's...
You know what, let's just,
hurts.
yeah. Yeah, the pile driver's no good. Actually, the choking is way worse.
Yeah, choking is worse.
That does like 70% or something. I was gonna take it safe here, because there's 3 Andores up here.
Yeah.
You sort of don't want to have to fight them. Somebody threw the one I wasn't punching. Don't worry about it. It's really important that none of them get to my right side here. Because I'm also having to punch this dynamite. There's no safe space here. Yep. Ooh, I barely got that one. Alright, that was just fine. Now, here, if you screw up anything, you're just dead. They'll probably just do infinite damage to you. Hit you without knocking you down for... Because they have attacks that don't knock you down, but do like 30%.
Ooh.
So if like 3 of them do it to you,
yeah,
you're dead.
that's almost 100%. Oh, that's cool. You can just trigger the cutscene without killing all those guys. Just get on in the door.
Ah, nice jump kick. Oh boy. Really want the knife guys to be gone. Alright, now, remember I was talking about things like going invisible? That's gonna happen here, probably. I'm just gonna spam. Nope. No pipe, please.
No.
Alright. So if you walk down the middle, they'll both jump. Just be like, so long, suckers. This fight is like just super awkward. Oh, okay, that's a horrible start. Oh man. Plus, there's 2 problems. First of all, I'm not getting any health drops until like a very long time after this, barring a random one. So any damage you take sucks. If I'm lucky, I can make it until the I can't remember what it's called. Impossible Fight of Death.
Yeah, I can't remember either. Something with an F?
That
Sure. Whatever. We'll figure it out shortly.
I like to saying Thing of Doom whenever I don't remember. It's usually close enough.
It's pretty accurate.
Ah, she kicked me. Gotta get to the top row here for the fire. Okay, we got the infinite. Oh, okay, we don't have the infinite. This is...
I love it. You can do the infinite to more than one enemy at a time in this version.
Alright. No random meat, so we're pretty dead. That's fine though. Very expected. I'm jumping into this fire. Oh, no. This is good, though, so I made it to here without dying, so I can use this death as damaging to everyone on the screen.
Yeah.
It'll help me group them up. Like, no super joys even, like, I had no options. So yeah, this is the hardest screen in the game. It should be pretty obvious why. There's every enemy in the world is here, all the hard ones. Oh, it's pretty fun. You can't see what I'm doing because I'm behind a pillar. I like being on the right side, but it's really not how it works. Yeah. That actually was... I'm very okay with this. Usually, like, if you're going for a 1cc, one death on this screen is expected. And that's pretty much exactly what I got. This might just be a one death level, stage 6.
Well, I mean, aside from that one Andorra jumping at you, I mean, that was really excellent.
Yeah, that was way better than my practice runs with gun.
All right, the final fight of the game. See what I did there? It's Belger, and
oh no, an arrow hit me! Oh my god! Oh my god! I did. There was no. I did not make an input error there. I swear to God.
You know, it's just how it goes sometimes with the way that you knock the arrows up in the air. But
all right,
there it is.
Almost too easy.
Very close.
I mean, if you do like a frame perfect super joy when you get up, you can avoid the damage. But
and then there's the whole team. Hagar and Guy did nothing, but they're here now.
Bunch of jerks. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was great. Awesome job, khananaphone.
Very happy with that. I would have been super happy without that last death, but hey, whatever.
Yeah. Alright, so.
Alright. Well, thank you for making me run this.
Yeah, heck yeah. I'm real glad you did. And, you know, thanks for having me help out with commentary for you. Coming up next, we got, oh yeah, you're going to play some Palmades for us, isn't that right?
That's right. Do you know anything about it?
Nope.
Well, I guess you don't have to commentate.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out, unfortunately. But yeah, good luck with the run, and I'm sure you're gonna. It's like dominoes it's a domino-based puzzle game, right?
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. So that is literally the sum total of my knowledge of that game. Oh, guy's a jerk. Deception.
The greatest love story.